Hello everyone. This is extremely embarrassing. I've been sitting here talking for 15 minutes thinking I was streaming. I've had issues with the game, but now we are actually here. So let's get back into the game here. So we are on a map called King Lake or King Lake. I am not exactly 100% how it's pronounced. Currently, we are harvesting barley with a massive Ferguson 8750, I think it is, with a 3-meter header, I believe this is. Currently, I do not have anyone playing along in this session, but that is not supposed to be right now because of the fact that it's my single player account. Wow, save profile. So now we have on the map showing that it's a mixed color of orange, red and yellow. I think, if I don't remember wrong, that is the out of the crop and potential yield, and most of it are showing pretty dark red, so I don't think we get out much of this. However, I hope we don't have too much problems. It's Friday the 13th, so I usually have a lot of issues here. Yes, 8750. Perfect. We are currently full of barley, so we need to go get a tractor, and I think the only tractor suitable for this job is in Holland. I was sitting explaining this in the 15 minutes where I realized that the stream hadn't started on YouTube, so I need to make sure that that one auto starts next time I clicking the start button in OBS Studio. Here we have the New Holland, by the way, with a T8020. Don't know if we need a front brake, but let's keep it on there. I'm currently on ignition lock, so I have an ignition key to start our machinery with. Oh, pretty nice tractor. Oldish looking, but it's fine. So I have currently 2 mods installed, as I didn't have the ability to add more, because I thought when I clicked the button I was streaming, obviously not, and was only able to add the manual attach and precision farming. So those are the only mods we have. And I like manual attach because it gives some realism to the actual gameplay. So the farm here is the starter farm you get from your grandpa. Though the tutorial didn't work for me, I'm not sure if that was... if it's because it's a DLC, because Kingley was released like, I don't know, 6 months ago. Or maybe a little bit more. And DLC is usually not having issues with tutorials, but this time I think it's because I have played the map before, and that's the reason why it doesn't work. Need to pull the pipe out. There we go. Normally I have a person with me when I'm doing jobs like these, but Now I don't anymore, so therefore we are doing the work ourselves, and hopefully we'll be fine. Been playing Farming Simulator since 2009, so we should be able to handle it. Currently, we get 8,000 liters, not bad. I think we're moving it to the side, actually. Jump back in, pipe in, and off we go. But yes, it's a very small combine, so this field might take a bit to do, and the money we're starting out with is what you can set before you're starting up the game, the profile for the map. So I chose hard mode for the economy, so we are not gonna have easy to earn money. So spending that money we have is gonna be with extreme caution, so we don't overbuy or overspend on things we don't need. Usually when I'm running it privately, I using money mods and stuff just to gather what I want, and then I just keep whatever left to do anything I like. But when I stream, I want to show the genuine gameplay, which is to drive with nothing but a few mods that isn't improving money or making the game too easy, so to speak. Manual attach, it's pretty obvious. You manually attaching items like headers, trailers, etc. etc. that you manually attach to the vehicle, so that is no game changing mod in that way. Precision farming, all that does is improving the gameplay by giving you more realistic or semi-realistic way of checking your soil and see what it needs, etc. etc. We'll show soon, as that is a priority to buy, as we're gonna need to test the soil here. We're also gonna cultivate and reseed this field, but first we're gonna have to. I am not sure if we're gonna rent or if we're gonna buy a baler, because obviously we're gonna need one. So question is if we are going for a conventional baler or if we are going for a large baler for big bales. So yeah, that is something we need to figure out. We will have to check with the used market as well to get a few bucks off on the machine that normally is more expensive. And usually that comes with a repair cost as well, because they're usually down to half on service. So yeah, and for you who doesn't play Farming Simulator much or haven't gotten to the part where you're pretty self-sufficient in it, we have the bars and stuff down here, barley for an example, that is showing in a combine for your fill level of the crop you're harvesting. Then you have the common stuff like the speedometer, and that hourglass is how many hours your machine has worked. The thing that looks like a speedometer or something like that, and then it says 27, that is the icon for cruise control. Then obviously you have the gearbox numbers. In this case, this is an automatic, so it has the automatic status on it. Uh, icon for gearbox is on top there, and then the wrench is for your service, how down or showing how much damage your machine has. I like to call it service because there is no obvious damage to the vehicle more than paint wear. And then obviously you have the fuel gauge, which is the yellow one, yellow orange, obviously. And where it says inactive, that is a funny one because that is actually for when you have a workup on your machine. So that one is definitely for telling if the machine has a driver on it, a worker. That worker, well, I don't understand why that one is there for. But when you set worker on a vehicle, you usually don't jump into that vehicle until it's done with the work, or if it gets stuck somehow. The NPCs are not that smart in this game, but they are smarter than they have been in since 2008 or 2009. So they are a lot smarter now, that's for sure. However, plan-wise for the profile, I am not quite sure. I mainly set this up for tonight's stream and for giving some variety on the stream and not playing the same game over and over, etc. etc. Although some days I have planned to do two games and they're gonna be reoccurring every Sunday. So for those who likes to watch reoccurring games, then that is a good day for you to watch if you want. I will post those after this stream. At least one of them I'm gonna post because the later one at 1930, like I streaming today, is gonna be posted after I'm done with the stream that starts at 1 and ends at 3 Swedish time. Oh my goodness, we got an achievement or something? We certainly did, but I didn't see what it was. We'll have to watch back on that later. So, we will have to go and get the tractor again. We are currently full. There we go. But it is like any game. If you're doing farming, then things are slow. And we are running seasons, which I haven't set the days for. So that is something we will have to sort out. Can do that while that one's filling up. So currently seasonal growth, yes. Days per month, 1 day. So I could run no seasons as well, so then we can progress a bit further. Or we can keep season and maybe 4 days or something like that, or 3 days. So in this case, as it is a stream and we only have 2 hours, I'm gonna run without season. So no fixed visual months. Snow can be on just for variety. Crop destruction is on. Periodic plowing should be on. Fieldstone, weeds, and disaster destruction, everything on there. Everything for buying from via workers if I ever use it. Those are off because they are affecting your environmental score. So if we just save this right there, I'll go to the map and I will show what environmental score is. It's like this. You're clicking in here. I think. No. Where do we have the environmental score? Hotspots. No. Farmland. This is what we own. We own the grass field, 35, and we own the field there for the cows, and we own field 23 and 22. So currently it looks like we have a crop on there, so that is also going to be needed to be harvested. Although I am here, we have done precision farming. This is what I'm talking about, environmental score. Currently it sits on 48, and that is something we need to increase by doing the work ourselves, by plowing, cultivating, fertilizing, seeding, harvesting, all that stuff. So that is what is an important thing if you're going to get a bonus on the crop you have harvested. So the higher your environmental score, the higher the bonus be for each tonnage sold of grain that you have harvested. And that is actually included for even when you're harvesting trees, harvesting grass, selling silage, pretty much anything that has with growing and making of certain things. I think it even affects greenhouses. So if we zoom in here then, currently this field we are working on has 42 in environmental score, and the other two has 50. So that means that this field here hasn't been taken care of very well yet, but it will be eventually. How we're raising this, that is something I don't know exactly, but as of the little I know, is that you have to do all the work on your own on the field in order to get the environmental score up. So by that said, let's continue going on the field. Taking away the tractor for now. We are actually soon full, I see, 82%. But we are getting the crop, and usually the crop is season based, so can't be sold just straight away often, because you have a low, mid and high range of prices for the selling of crop. And in our case we are not running season now, but the problem we have here is that when we're selling, we want to get the most out of the crop, so we will have to check the prices before we actually dumping it into the silo. Who knows, well, it could be perfect in August to sell, or it could be at the lowest in August. So we will have to look, but we're cracking on with the harvest here, and once done we will have to look what baler to buy. Although I'm not sure if we're going for a conventional baler that makes small liftable bales by hand, or if we're going for a big baler which doing big bales, which we need the front loader for, and that means we're gonna need to buy a much bigger trailer to load those bales on. There is obviously auto loaders that we can buy, but they are pretty expensive, and they are also taking a lot of space on the farm, but they are easier to run around with to pick up the bales, and probably faster too. I do like manual loading as well, because it gives you the opportunity to learn how to handle the front loader better, and from another point, it's also more realistically done inside with the manual, which is hard to master, I noticed. Because it's not often that you see above the bonnet for where your forks are. So ideally, I hope the HCB is kinda more sloping in the bonnet, so you can see more of your forks when you're steering the wheels. Why do I mention the ACB for is when I thought I was streaming, I was live, I thought, but I weren't. Then I told that we have a ACB tractor with a front loader, so that one is at our disposal for whatever job we need it for. Although that ACB steering radius is not very good. It's not very good, but hey, it's what we have currently. And yes, we are gonna do some different jobs in this stream as well. I could, although, put a worker on this, but yeah, having a worker also costs money. So we have 1,000,000, yes, but that can go down very quickly, depending on how much workers you have on, or if you're buying something that is very expensive. So anything we buy first hand is to check the sale, because there you find second-hand machines which you can buy. Saves you kind of, what can it be, 20 to 30% of what they usually cost in brand new. That is a good way of getting the machinery you need a lot earlier and quicker in the game than having to wait for grinding up the money for it. And I using that one pretty frequently when I am alert enough on it. And it's Friday the 13th, so I have had a lot of issues with the technology today. OBS for a moment didn't want to start, it was messing around due to kept logging out on me, so I don't know what went on there, but managed to get in eventually. And then obviously we have the forgettingness of thinking that you are live, and then realizing that you are not really live. You're sitting babbling to yourself for 15 minutes without being live. Way go. So I am sorry for that, but now we have gotten things sorted out, game finally installed in the nick of time. I had only a few minutes to start up, and then it was the miss with not being live on time. So yeah, this day has gone great, very great. No, not really, but here we are at least. So I will put those 15 minutes back into the stream. So we are going over 21:30. So, and that is only to be able to cover the 15 minutes lost. And we are soon full again. About Sunday's stream, I think it's gonna be interesting from the point that Cyberpunk 2077 is gonna be the first game out, and that one I start streaming at 1 PM Swedish time. Obviously it's posted on the channel for when it starts, so it be accurate to your own time from whatever country you're watching from. And later in the evening, it would be a game that I haven't played much, but I have played some, and that is Tom Clancy's Division 2, which is gonna be a very interesting game for streaming it, because I'm not very good at shooting games, but I do my best. Also, currently trying to get another game installed that probably a lot of people knows about, which is called Valorant. And that game I have planned to get installed as soon as the client from Epic will be updated on my system. So even there I have some technical issues that I have to solve, but it will be coming in a stream hopefully soon enough, as soon as I get shit installed. So the era of technology for me hasn't been kind, so it's a lot of things to sort out and relearn, or actually learn. Alrighty. So once we have filled this trailer, we're checking the prices for Bali, and if we see they are in a good position, then we probably gonna sell it so we can get some more money in. Or if it's bad, we storing it. I think that would be a good solution. As for this profile, if I stream in Farming Simulator anything more, I will definitely continue on this profile, because it could be fun to follow up on what you have seen currently. There we go. 58% left. Good. Let's check the prices. No, that was contracts. There is prices. Bali. So currently the best price is €254 per ton, and the best selling price is in January apparently. So we are storing it for this time, but that's fine. We have other ways to earn money. Like you saw there, we have contracts we can do to earn money. And I think actually owning some of the trees in the farm here, so you could take down some trees and load it up and sell that too. The possibilities are not endless, but there are some possibilities to earn money. Something we are gonna invest in pretty much instantly in the game, in this gameplay, is a greenhouse, and then do something like lettuce or tomatoes or something like that, because that be passive income. And another thing to gamble on, I think, is to get chickens, because that is also good passive income. We have one passive income with the sheeps, because they produce wool, and when you're selling that, you're getting some money there too. So that will definitely be a good passive income. Passive incomes and factories are usually the best to go to in Farming Simulator franchise nowadays. Up to Farming Simulator 22, there was crops that was the best paying, but nowadays, actually 2019 was mainly crops, because 2022 was when they implemented more of the factories. So up to 2019 was crops that was best paying, but now taking crops to a factory to make other produce out of is more income generating than just crops itself. So therefore we need to start thinking about if we are going to somehow get a factory to make oil of the barley, or if it is flour you make of barley. I don't remember exactly, but that we can figure out. It's no problems. So, whoa. And my voice is dropping because I started to lose my voice. I am not sick, it just started yesterday out of nowhere. Either I have eaten something that my body can't handle, or there is something else causing it, but I don't know what it is exactly. So therefore I'm sounding a little bit rough. Can you run? Thank you. So other things to think of with this gameplay is probably that we currently only have that tractor, a JCB, and this combine. We do have a car. We have a cultivator and a seeder. So they are not the biggest machinery, so it's gonna take a while to do the clearing of the grounds and stuff. So we will have to figure out what horsepower range we currently have and see if we can find anything bigger that is still within the power range. And power range has become pretty relevant in this game, I have noticed, because if your tractor is too low in HP is horsepower, then you will have a lot of struggling to pull that implement you have bought for the tractor. And you don't want to pull a Jeremy Clarkson on this one. So, as I say it, I might actually be the one doing it just for the fun of it, just for good laughter. But yeah, we have just started out, so things are a bit slow at the moment. I do believe the crop will wither if you don't harvest them in time. However, this field's starting to look very complete, so we are definitely making progress. And we do need to get some food for the cows, because we do not have silage bales yet, and I don't think we have any hay for making the mixed ratio for them. But currently they are not lack of edibles, because they also eating of the grass in the pen, so they are still having meadow to eat. So it's not actually a hurry to get it. So if we are cutting some grass, we could actually make silage in the shaft pit or the silo pit that we have on the farm. We can make silage there, and grass that is left we can make some hay of, because then we have something there. And obviously we're getting straw out of the barley, which means we're getting straw bales. So it's pretty doable that way, but it takes a little bit longer though. So for the first time, maybe we should buy the bales. I am not quite sure yet. It depends really. But that would actually give us the advantage of buying a flatbed to load the bales on if we are going for a big baler. Because I think a big baler on this field, we're only getting out like 6, maybe 10 bales totally. And usually, depending on yield, that also affects the amount of straw. So in this case, we might get out 6 or 8 big bales on this field. So yeah, it's always a decision making when you do farming. If you make a good decision, it will benefit you in the long run. And if you do a bad decision, oh yeah, it will not pay off in the end. And then you will have to correct that in a later state. A later stage, not state. But currently, we haven't made any mistakes, so we are on the good side currently. But of course, I always have bad luck on this sort of day, because Friday the 13th has never been a friend of mine. Kind of obvious, because the voice went BS on me, and technology here is messing. When I left work today, they forgot to pick me up, so they have to turn back to pick me up. Yeah, this day has really been a pain in my butt. So let's just hope that there is no more hiccups with anything here. Let's just hope that we can get a good session, and hope that we can finish off with the work we need to do in 2 hours. And yeah, if you all have any questions, just ask them down in the chat. I'll try and answer as good as I can. If there is any suggestion of any machinery we need, that's the very same there too. Just write them down in the chat, and I will look up what they cost and try and buy them. So we have to, although, get the greenhouse, chickens, what more? Greenhouse, chickens, and yes, we need the soil sampler so we can test the soil of the fields. So once that is gotten, then we can start focusing on either plowing or cultivating. I think fastest will be cultivating, and seeding, so we can get some new crop in. And as we don't run season now, that means we have probably a chance that we can plant pretty much anything we like, which is maybe not so realistic. But as there is a stream sitting waiting for a season to run just to be able to harvest, it's not very fun. So for viewers, they want to see some progress, they want to see something happening to keep it fun. So therefore we not running season this time. If it be questions about having season, I will of course activate season in the game, and that is completely fine with me. I've run season a few times, so it's fully doable. Doable. Oh, can't pronounce anything today. And as for dropping off the header when you have manual attach, you have to get out and disconnect the hoses, and then you can disconnect if you're not used to manual attach before. There we go. That didn't go as planned. Okay, this is not good. We will have to do that then. Do, 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 do. Told you it goes well today. Alrighty then. I see I have forgotten to click choose stream here. There. Now the chat should work, I hope. There's always something going wrong today. There we go. See if we can produce. Nope, we can't. Right, we'll have to attach the hoses so we can raise the header again. Oh yeah, that was the issue. Too far in. There, and try to get loose if possible. We are definitely stuck. That is not good. Why now? Come on, release. Why is this happening? Uh, Goes well now. We are literally stuck in the combine as well. OMG. Seriously? Let's see if we can jank off the trailer from here. How did that even get stuck? So I think the only way here is to reset the combine. There's something bugged out there. Vehicles should be that one. Where is the reset button for that one? Ah, right. We have to do that via the map. Huh. The combine isn't even shown. Why isn't the combine even shown in the actual thing here? That is weird. Let's try that then and see if that works. Nope. Okay, so as the combine is not shown in the we will have to try and yank it out somehow. How is that hooking up? Good, now we got a header away. Come on, let go of the combine. How is it stuck? Oh, okay. Let's try another thing. We do have the front loader, so maybe we can push loose the trailer. Do we have any four-wheel steering on you? Four-wheel steering, perfect. Gives us a little bit better turn radius. It seems to be no hoses connected connection to this. Let's switch over the weight to the back so we can get that sorted out. That should be fine. A little bit too close actually. And sluta. There, so let's pick up the forks and now we try to push loose the header trailer from the combine. Can't believe I got that far in. But yes, Friday the 13th isn't done with me yet. So, will we get it loose or will we not? Try to wiggle it loose. Oh, come on, get off. Come on. It was so close there. Oh, come on. Okay. Now it's up in the air. Maybe I can reverse loose. You are really stuck. Let's see. If we unhook this one here. Nope. That didn't work. How is it? Oh. Should I maybe get it underneath the combine? Don't tell me you are stuck. Oh, lucky. Whew. Goes well now. I hope that is gonna let go of it. Oh yes, hopefully. No! I thought it was actually getting loose. Oh, this is typical. Oh well, we will have to leave it here. We don't have time to sit and mess with this. Shall I get stuck on that too? That's typical. Alright. Goes well now. Not. Alright, let's start with the actual fact to just carefully move this one out of the way. There. Don't get stuck on me. Thank you. So we take the crop into the silo, and then we start fixing out with the chickens and the greenhouse, so we can get something done in this messed up stream. Oh my goodness, goes well tonight. Pretty decent to get 1.5 loadouts. Oh, a little bit more than 1.5. It's not bad at all. As for where to place the greenhouse, I think the yard in front of us should be the best spot for that. The chickens Not so sure where we take those. But somewhere we should put them. So, how many chickens should we go for? Because they are not exactly small, those pens, the bigger you go. And they're costing, I don't know, between 100 and 120k or something like that. Not sure. Nah, that expensive it can't be. Something like 50 to 100k. That we will see very soon, anyways. Just to see here, we spoke about the cows before. Need to see. Okay, so they do not eat the meadow. That's weird. I thought they did. That's odd. So we do need to get food for them. We do need to. No, not currently. Currently, I'm using keyboard with settings for steering wheel ish. But I usually do steering wheel, but I didn't connect it today because last time I had so much issue with getting it to respond on the steering and throttle. But you can use steering wheel and you can also use controller for it as well. So, but currently I'm using a mouse and keyboard. As for the shooks, I think we're placing those first because, as I said, they are rather big. So I think the shooks should probably go right here. No problem. For use of steering wheel, you have to set it up before you start loading into the actual save file. So, say that you have a steering wheel. Usually, I would recommend Logitech steering wheels because they are usually compatible off the batch. But you have to do the settings via the settings before you start loading into the game, and you will have to try out which one is the clutch, which one is the brake, which one is the throttle, which one is the gearbox, depending how your setup looks like. If you're just using pedals and steering wheel, then obviously you're doing automatic gearing. So all that you need to check for is steering wheel and brake and throttle, because those needs to be set to a certain dead zone to be responsive. But yeah, it's a process, so there is probably tutorials on YouTube for it. And when it comes to controller, it's about the same setup there. You have to set it up via the settings, and then you will just have to adjust some of the settings to have good responses on steering and such. Other than that, it's fully compatible. I run in keyboard and mouse because they are easier for me to use on menu. So we have no steering wheel or controller today, but can be done eventually, I think. Chickens. And that one is very small. It doesn't produce much. This one, let's see. I want. Yeah, so here is the answer for the pricing for chicken coops. So the highest price is 79k, 79,000 euro. So I usually go with this one because you can fit the most chickens in there, and that means you get eggs a lot faster. So normally I try to place it in a area where I know is gonna be. That was the wrong button. And where is the button for that one? There it is. When you are in build menu, I'm gonna rotate with keyboard and you're using C and D. And if you're zooming out, you're using X, and to zoom in, I think it's E. Right? Which one was it zoom in on? F? No. But F means we can add solar panels, and that we do want. And we want a white building. That'd be a lot better. So then we're backing out with escape to finalize that. And to rotate this, you can use either to rotate the building, you're using the right hand side of the mouse. Just holding it down and then you can rotate it. But if you want to rotate the camera, you can also hold in the middle mouse. It's usually easier for most people's. So the placement of this is fairly easy, although you do want to use it in a flatter or flat-ish area. Some buildings they will level out the ground for you, but some won't. So I'm gonna use toggle free mode in order to be able, as I stand it too close. So let's say we place it here, and then we can customize customize our pen how we want it to be. So obviously we can't go too close to the shed there, but we do want it to be in line with this pole right here. So we're trying to just follow that a little. There, and then we don't want to take off too much of our ground here, so let's see here. We can go to there perhaps. Yeah. Now we're gonna angle this a little because we don't want it to be too much in the way. And we testing to place it there. There we go. We have our shop house, which is perfect. Could be a little bit tight, but I think it will work. So what was the next thing we said? Ah yes, we need greenhouse. They should be under factory area. Yes. Greenhouse. Then I could recommend this one because that one gives you the most space for produce, and you can also run. It demands more water, but it runs for longer, so you don't have to tend to it so often. So I would recommend to go for a bigger greenhouse in the beginning. However, I'm not sure how flat the ground is here. And I think we're placing it away from where we drive. So say we place it about the same angle as the shook place and trying to keep it roughly in line. So how bad was that? It actually raised the ground this time, so we do not have to worry about that. So just to smooth it out a little, we can use the smoothing tool. It's a little bit like when I am in OpenSim and gonna terraform the land. I can use the similar tools, which is always fun. So, we have a greenhouse, we have a shook house. So, we have done what we said about that. What's next to do is to get maybe this sorted out, to lay some dirt or gravel, so we can get a little bit of a more decent base. So of course we can try and see if this one is the right one. No. Is it that one? Yes. So we can just change that with right click, and now we just enlarge it with M, and then you can just grind in some new texture to the ground. And C to rotate. There we go. Now that looks 10 times better. So of course we're gonna do the same over here, so because we don't have concrete on the farm. And then we make sure that we have something to turn around on when we are picking up the pallets. Just like that, and then we can following it out. So we have a little bit of a turnaround space for it. And of course it's costing money to do this, so we can't just blare on with it. But that should be pretty much where we want it to be. Like that. So now we can start figuring out so this is the shook fan, and the lights in here, they turn on automatically. So usually I would go and pick up the animals with a trailer, but we do not have currently any trailer that can do that unless I install a mod. Then we could do it. But for now, we will just bring them here. So we buy fully grown. Let's see, that's how we do it. So we're loading this up with at least 155 there. So I always do like this, that when I buy shooks, I always buy everything in the shooks, and then I keep one spot for a rooster, just for the aesthetics. Oh, Japan. It's a very lucky guy, that one, having all these shooks to himself. I was so speedy, not like him. Anyone else gonna run? Come on, run. There. They are too fun, those. Alright, so maybe we should go down and pick up some flatbed and buy some wheat. Because we need to feed the chooks, and then we need to buy a tank trailer as well, so we can fill water in the greenhouse. Because currently I do not have any mod for automatically being able to have a... Because in 2022, let's see, Farming Simulator 22, I think there was a mod where you could automatically have the greenhouses set to a watering system. And in 2009, you had a system where you manually went to turn a valve to fill up greenhouses and crops and such. But nowadays, I haven't yet scoured ModHub, so I do not know what kind of watering mods are out there. Although the old-fashioned tank trailer and tractor is always working. So I think we take the front loader down to the store, picking up wheat and a flatbed so we can load the wheat on it. So that is probably gonna be the best solution. And also we need to look into buying a baler for the field. However, the mess with the combine, that usually be fixed after the restart. And that bug should be gone. So for now, we do not have a combine that we can work with. Whoa. Fast steering now. So this is a field I want to buy eventually, because it's a grass field, and grass fields you never get too little of, especially if you're running them with cows and you need food for the cows. Then it's very good to have grass fields, because in the long run you saving more money to make your own bales than buying them in. In this case, we will probably have to buy a few bales in so we can give the cows food. Because they apparently don't have any meadow to eat, and usually that is the case that they do have it, but for some reason it doesn't. So let's check sales. Have a Deutzfahr. That's a small one. Now we have a Valtra S. 46% off. That is pretty good. Mm, not sure if we actually need a tractor with 420 horses right now. That one, we own that one, so no idea to buy that one. That's a bigger header. But then we need a New Holland combine for that one. So what we need doesn't exist in sales, so we will have to buy a flatbed from the store directly. We keep it original just to keep the prices down. I think we keep it like it is. There, and now we needed, what was it? Wheat we need. Where do we have that? There, perhaps. Yes. Then we can go for either big bags or pallets. So usually I go for the bags because they are more fun to handle than the pallets. So we go for that. So we buy 8 just to have enough for them for a while. And then obviously we are gonna need to buy silage, hay, and a baler so we can get the straw. This JCB, on the other hand, is a manual gearbox, but as I don't have manual gearbox attached for actually gearing myself, it is set automatically, so it doesn't trigger in a good way. I'm gonna move the trailer here first. Ah, yet another thing I forgot. We'll have to drop off the weight. And to switch between your implements using G. And then you have to lower it down if you have manual attached, otherwise you can't disconnect it. There we go. Now we can move the trailer. I always move in the trailer because of the fact that it's a more easier location, so loading becomes smoother. So I usually put it down on these areas here. Now, reversing is not what I expect everyone to do, but I always try to reverse just to get some challenge. So, about there, I would say. So now we have a much bigger turning space for loading up the bags. I haven't loaded on the inside for a long time, so it might be a little bit of a fail here. So enlarging the forks is done with holding in the right mouse and then you drag the mouse sideways. Let's see if this is gonna work. Oh, we are not wide enough yet. Let's see if this tractor can handle this. Barely. It is after all a ton each, these bags. So currently 2 tons on the forks. So unless you have mods for autoload, these bags has to be lifted manually. And most people I see that playing Farming Simulator usually use autoload, but I try to avoid it if I can. But if I have a lot of stress with loading it manually, then I usually add a mod for just simplicity to be quicker to load. the materials. Ooh, this always steering, I'm not used to it. And I'm using that little knock. There is like a little raise up on the hood. That's one I'm using in order to center myself for the bags. It's a useful little tool. There we go. Whoa! Don't put a wheelie on me now. I almost pulled the Clarkson there. And you don't want to pull the Clarkson. I'm using the little thing in the middle just to align myself a little. And then I can see more correctly where I put in the forks. Nice tuna. But yeah, manual loading gives more reward for me, so I like to keep it as much manual as I can do when I'm playing on my own, that is. Can I actually get that weight with me? It's not always easy to get those things on. See if we can force it on here. Ooh, precarious. We will have to take it easy and we'll see if we can get it onto the trailer here. Should just be smart and hook it off. Yeah, it might work. Not sure if those stays there, but we will see. And as usual with manual attach, it's sometimes it auto hooks like that, or sometimes it don't. But it's good that it's finally released. It makes my life so much more fun. It seems like it stays there. And as I place the shook pen as I did, I will have to manually unload the trailer as well. Usually you should just be able to drive straight into it. Well, it's an easy fix once you get used to it. And now then with this, press 3 for cruise control. Usually relaxing your fingers when you driving with keyboard. If I can get the wheel to work next time, it'll be a little bit easier, but for some reason, the moment I'm using the wheel, I can't use the joystick. But if I'm using keyboard, I can use joystick. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe I have to have some specific settings in the game for it. I'm not sure, or I have the wrong type of joystick to handle the front loaders and cranes and such. Not the strongest tractor, but it does its job, which is always a good point. So if we're gonna cut down some trees, I think this is part of our land. I think. Not sure there actually. Oh, come on, so heavy. Oh yeah, to take off the cruise control, either hit 3 or just hit S, like you're driving with keyboard. Something that have made it a little bit easier in this game is the reverse. The dollies are responding a little bit more now. I think we have a good spot there. So I'm not gonna unload everything. I'm just gonna unload a few bags. Let's see, time is starting to elude us, so it's best to just get a few bags in so the shooks get some food, and then we go down and get a great. That was not planned. Okay, we do it like that then. Now, oh, respond then, tractor. Thank you. We try to spin that thing around so we can get it onto the back of the tractor. That works. There we go. It's always a challenge every time I'm gonna do this. I haven't done it on the inside in so long. Alright, shucks, here comes your food. And... Oof, not the most realistic bet. You have come up with giants, but hopefully that is something different in a possible next game, if there is anything coming. I'm not sure. But yeah, there might be a mod coming where you get bags who actually stays when they are empty, so you can actually recycle them. That would be cool. There we go. 4 tons should last them a while, so that gives us some time to fix water for the greenhouse. And as the combine is put out of order now because it's bugged for some reason, it miraculously got hooked to the header trailer sideways from the front, which won't release at all. So I am not sure what's going on there. So I think it's that bug I have had before, which only releases if I restart the game, and I'm not gonna sit and restart the game now. That's not gonna happen. So we will have to find something else to do. So the only thing we can get going with currently is to get the water tanker, and then try and get some free water from the lake. Ah, right, we had the cows to feed out as well, and to buy a baler, so we do have stuff to do. Beef cows. I would rather have milk cows, but currently we do not have a pen for that. So we only have, I can't see a damn thing. So we will have to stick with what we have there for a bit, and then we will have to plan out probably a modded pen, but one that actually allows milk cows instead of beef. Because milk is also a good passive income, especially if sold in the right month, and you can earn quite a lot on it. Not exactly sure how much you earn when you have on hard on economy, so can't really tell how much it will be, but in easy mode it's quite profitable. But we are currently running hard mode on economy. Barrels. Would I even dare taking this one? Because I would need a dolly though, but nah, we go for this one. Unless it is a water tanker. No, let's keep it as is. Just buy it straight up. Was none in sale. Okay, so it had to be a new one. So currently 767,843 left, and we still need a baler and a feed mixer. Let's see if it auto hooks this time. Yep. After, why did I unhook them? I was about to say half the job done, but then I unhooked it. Typical me. Oh yeah. The thing is, as I have played this map before, then I know exactly where we can pick up water for free. If I now remember the road there. Jeeves. Definitely getting worse at this, boys. I usually don't sound like this. I sound a bit brighter, but something hit me yesterday. And I'm not sick. I'm fine. I've been at work, so something has made my voice starting to go. So something, maybe dust, maybe something I eaten. I don't know. It's just weird. That is probably not the shortcut. Need to just check if we have anything here we can take on. Yes, here is a good spot. So reversing in would be a alternative. Oh, thank you, Mom. Jeebus, this trailer is messy today. I usually don't have problem reversing this one otherwise. There we go. And this is a good way to go down to a river or a lake. Or why not install a mod and get a pond on your farm? Because then you get free water. So that is better than placing a water tank on the farm, because you're paying them for the water. And if you're only gonna feed water out a greenhouse, then it's better than it is a free water source than having a water source that's costing you thousands of euros just to be able to feed, to water out your animals or watering out the greenhouse or whatever greenhouse you go for, because you also have greenhouses for mushrooms. You have greenhouse for pretty much anything, and then you have the mods where you can get pretty much anything to grow in the greenhouse. Slightly unrealistic, but could be slightly better if there is a small quantity you need for something. Say, for an example, you need carrots for horses, for horse keeping, as the horse is gonna need carrots if they are gonna have a 100% health, and they're gonna need carrots and oat and everything. So then it's perfect to just grow that into a greenhouse. And I'm pretty damn sure there is a mod that actually makes carrots. I haven't found it personally yet, but it's a mod I actually consider, because as a passive income, greenhouses is the best. Second best nowadays, I have noticed, is chooks. And the third best is the wall. Because why do I put that third? Well, firstly, wool takes a long time for the sheep to make now, and secondly, you have to feed them out so much until you can actually get them to be at 100% health, because that's where they're producing the best. Chooks, same problem there. They take a lot longer to produce eggs now. and secondly, you have to keep on top on the feed, otherwise you don't produce eggs. So that is also a cost that you have to factor in. Either you doing it the long-term way, which is to seed out the field with wheat, so you have basically only the cost for seeding it, but then you get out so much more. Or you have to buy it in, and then you have to calculate what do each set of 8 bags or pallets cost for wheat. So in my case, I rather make sure to grow the wheat if I can, and then store it in the silo, and then keep a couple of fields with wheat just for feeding out the chooks, which I think is most cost effective in the long run. But as I don't know what the second field has, then I feel that buying in wheat for the moment is necessary. It's nothing I want to do, but it's necessary. When it comes to cows, there is modes for buying finished. Um, what's the name of it? Come on, remember. Uh, Total mix ratio is the full name. So TMR for short. And that can be bought in the store if you have a mod. But if you don't have the mod, then you will have to make it, and then you need to have silage, you need to have hay, and you need to have straw. And if I remember the recipe somewhat, I think it's 2 silage, 2 hay, and 1 straw to get the constant mix of TMR every time. Or it is 2 silage, 1 hay, and 1 straw. But I actually think it was 2 silage, 2 hay, 1 straw. And that should give you TMR if mixed correctly. If mixed correctly. I mean, if it is the right recipe. So we're gonna get another trailer load. So we have 16 ton of water in there. That should be lasting for a while. After that, I think we buy the what should we buy? The feed mixer, I think, so we can give the cows some food. And I think the best thing is to buy 2 silage, 2 hay, and 1 straw at the store. And we could actually rent a forklift down there to dump it into the feed mixer instantly. Because that food should last them for a bit as well. So then I can do some feed out offline, off cam, so it doesn't take too long, because mixing it could go wrong very fast if not concentrating enough. And as of today, I have had enough bad luck, so I think that's gonna be an off-cam thing. With help from another friend I have in my Steam, who dying to come on and help out with some stuff. So that is probably gonna happen. So 21:30, we go to 21:45-ish, just to be able to count in for the last 15 minutes that I thought I was streaming, but I've forgotten to turn on the stream on YouTube. So 15 minutes to get the cows fed out, the beefers, or whatever we should call them. Beef cattle. Cattle, maybe, would be a better word. I don't know. I am not extremely good at the right sentences and pronounces on stuff. But I do try my darndest to explain the little I know, and hopefully that will help you all out in your gameplays when you're playing Farming Simulator 25. I actually forgot to ask if the game sound still works. Perfect. At least that is staying consistent, and glad that chat's still working too. And I've been checking a little from time to time on my left side here, and the stream seems to have been stable as well with the connectivity, and no issues there too, which is really good. I still haven't figured out the background music for the streams, but I'm working on it. I'm still very new as a streamer, so still have a lot to learn, both with talking properly and as well understand the programs better to be able to sort out possible issues. Not nice to put the nail straight into the ting, that pink ting on your above your teeth. It's not a nice feeling. Ow. Oh well. Thank gosh this day only is once a year. Alrighty then. Let's go down and buy a feed mixer. Give these poor cattle some food. Maybe that's why the combine is assigned them, because if the combine is bugged, maybe the meadow in the pen is bugged, and therefore they don't get the food from the meadow. We could have a potential sign for. But hopefully the next time I plan on doing Farming Simulator as a stream, we'll make sure that everything is running properly before I start the stream. And to make sure the stream is set to auto start when I click on it on the OBS. That is something to remember for the next time. When it comes to Farming Simulator next time, I need to make sure everything works, no bugs. But the auto start for the stream has to be checked for Sunday, so there is a little bit of a time delay there, but that's fine. have Saturday on me to fix that problem, and it's pretty easy. I could really fix it after the stream too if I haven't forgotten by then. What was it we was supposed to do? Ah yes, feed mixer. That's a forage mixer. What? Okay. I think we go for this one, because that one takes more, and as we are going to put in 2 of each besides straw. I always clicking wrong on that. Okay, and we go for square bells, I think 85 m3, 5 cubic meter. What are the round ones? 3.5 cubic meter. So if we know that that one is 5, so that'd be 10 cubic meter. And the hay are 8. So what are the round bale? 4.5. Maybe we need 3.5. That'd be 7 cubic meter. That'd be 9 cubic meter. And that'd be 5. So 9, 7, 8, 9, 9, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 tons. And the trailer was how much? 24. It's just about being accurate there. Because we do need more silage than hay. So if we go for 2 of the square bells, and now we go for 2 round hay, and then we go for the smallest one, which should be that one, I think. Yes, we go for one of those. And now we need to rent a forklift just so we can lift it. Renting this one for now. There we go. But this time I'm not gonna align myself much. I'm just gonna drop them in, and then hopefully that is the right mix. That's the half the job done, and hopefully I don't click it off. Perfect. Righty. Let's get these bales in. Just for some quicker action, I'm gonna drive on the outside this time. Just so we can get this done as quick as possible. Don't try this at home. Huh? That took a damn long time for them to grind in. So now we will see if this is TMR. No, that is not TMR. Because we need to have some... It is TMR. But we do need some mineral feed, which I forgot to buy. But that is quickly done, because that one is in food category, which is there. And then we need that one. Hey, we need only one. There. Just returning this machine. Return, yes, there we go. So now we only have the mineral feed, and it should be pretty much cut clear case. And that one usually you have to drive next to in order to fill up more controlled. Usually. But not in this case, so we don't give a damn about that one. Turn on the mixer wagon so it's mixing the ratio. Ah, I know why it didn't work, because we are full. 24,000 liters. So my calculation was correct, and the recipe seems to be correct. It is 2 silage, 2 hay, and 1 straw bale. Just need to be sure that silage is more than hay. Otherwise you get something called, I don't remember if it is chaff or if it is forage. That you're gonna get, and the cows doesn't really want forage. They want total mix ratio. So that could be good to remember. Turn off that thing so we can get some speed. If this is correct on the YouTube here, we have had totally 11 views, which is amazing. So, which side is this one emptying on, or is it settable? Ah, settable, perfect. So we want the right side as we're coming in from the right. So that is set there, and then we just gonna need to unload. There we have it, and boom. Perfect. And I think it's gonna be lasting quite a long time, because that was barely half. So we're gonna have one feed out again, so that's positive. Perfect. So of course we need to have this one on the cover. So I think the best spot for this one would be over here, because it's pretty high in the roof here. Let's see if we bang it into the pole again. did that last time, I reversed it there. That be fine. Ah, we're starting to get wool now. Perfect. Passive income? Check. Alrighty then. We have reached the final bits in the stream. We have done pretty much all besides a few bits on the said stuff. So, yeah, this will be it for this stream, and I will tell you all about the stream for Sunday, and that is going to happen first thing at 1 p.m. Swedish time, and it's a 2-hour stream. And also the normal time 19:30, which I usually stream otherwise, is also happening. So it'll be 2 streams on Sunday. The games is going to be Cyberpunk 2077 and Tom Clancy's Division 2. The 2 games I going to have reoccurring on the channel on Sundays, so that be something to look forward for those who likes that. However, now we have been getting quite a lot done, and I want to thank you all for watching today and enjoying the stream, hopefully. And also, I want to put out a reminder for subscribing, liking, and hitting the bell for more content, and hopefully more versatile content. But for now, thanks for watching, and bye for now.